Tonight, our special transmission as Israel seeks support from Western allies against a potential attack by Iran. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. Today is the 317th day since the onset of Israel's war on Gaza. At least 40 Palestinians have been killed in the past 24 hours in the Gaza Strip. 134 have been injured. The Palestinian Health Ministry reports multiple airstrikes targeted civilian areas. These strikes are being described as massacres. Israeli warplanes have killed 4 civilians by targeting a house in southern Nuseirat. A separate attack on a residential apartment in Abasan al-Kabira near Khan Yunis has left numerous residents severely injured, including children. Doctors have confirmed the deaths of 13 Palestinians due to ongoing bombings in central and southern Gaza. Israel's military operations in Deir al-Balah have intensified. The renewed operations have displaced thousands of Palestinians. The civilians are now confined to 11% of Gaza's territory. An Israeli strike has killed Palestinian journalist Ibrahim Muharrab. He is the 169th journalist killed in Gaza since the war began in October last year. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency reports that the death toll amongst its workers has risen to 207. The distressing figures have been released on World Humanitarian Day. At least 40,139 Palestinians have been killed in the past 10 months. 92,743 have been injured. A report published in British medical journal The Lancet estimates Israel has killed at least 186,000 Palestinians. Israel is accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The top court has ordered Israel to immediately halt its military operations in the southern city of Rafah. An Israeli airstrike in the city of Nabatia in southern Lebanon has killed at least 10 people. All casualties are Syrian nationals, including a woman and her 2 children. The strike has left 5 civilians injured. The attack was allegedly targeting a Hezbollah weapons storage facility. In retaliation, Hezbollah fired a barrage of rockets into northern Israel. No casualties or injuries in Israel have been reported. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has landed in Israel to mediate a ceasefire. Blinken's visit comes after a weekend of intense Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. This marks the 10th trip by Blinken to the region since October 7th. Diplomatic efforts by the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are intensifying to secure a ceasefire deal. There is growing urgency due to fears of regional war following the assassinations of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders by Israel. In Gaza, the humanitarian crisis is worsening. Civilians are facing mass evacuations and food and water shortages and continue to feel pressure to find a safe place. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant have discussed escalating tensions in the Middle East. The focus of the discussions is on Iran's growing risk of aggression, including threats from Hezbollah. Austin has assured that the United States is closely monitoring potential Iranian attacks. He says the United States is strategically positioned to defend Israel and safeguard American personnel. These developments come as Israel has recently assassinated Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh and Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr. Iran and Hezbollah have both vowed to retaliate. In response, the United States has deployed military assets to the region. The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group and the USS Georgia submarine have been deployed to enhance Israel's security. The Pentagon says around 40,000 U.S. troops are stationed in the Central Command area, prepared to tackle any type of escalation. Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz has urged Western allies, including the United Kingdom and France, to join in a potential offensive against Iran. Katz's comments were made during a visit by the UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy and French counterpart Stéphane Séjourné. A UK government source says it is highly unlikely that Britain would launch a direct attack on Iran. In related news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declined to meet British Foreign Secretary David Lammy during his recent visit to Israel. This comes despite multiple requests from the UK government for a meeting. Israeli media reports Netanyahu has cited a scheduling conflict. This refusal is believed to stem from the UK government's decision to object on arrest warrants by the International Criminal Court. The top court is considering issuing arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Lammy was on a joint visit with French counterpart Stéphane Séjourné. He engaged with other Israeli officials, including Foreign Minister Israel Katz and Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer. A Canadian Supreme Court judge has given free Palestinian protesters at the Vancouver Island University in British Columbia 72 hours to dismantle their sit-in. The ruling was given this past Thursday. The encampment was set up over 100 days ago. Nearly 35 protesters have been at the sit-in. They demand the university acknowledge alleged genocide of Palestinians and reveal any ties to firms accused of human rights abuses. The university claims the sit-in cost $870,000 and has led to staff resignations. The university seeks a permanent removal. However, Justice Michael Stevens ruled the protesters must vacate the current outdoor site, but not the entire campus. The National Council of Canadian Muslims, the Arab Canadian Lawyers Association, and the British Columbia Civil Liberties Association criticized the ruling. The groups say the ruling infringes on freedom of expression. CCTV footage from a McDonald's restaurant in British Columbia shows a woman spitting on another hijab-wearing Muslim. The incident occurred on the long weekend of British Columbia Day. The attack occurred around 10 p.m. local time at New Westminster City. The Muslim woman was dining in the restaurant. Staff Sergeant Sanjay Kumar says the Muslim woman was unexpectedly targeted by the stranger. The suspect first spat on her and then made hateful comments about her religion before fleeing. Police are treating the incident as a possible hate crime and are seeking witnesses. The suspect is described as a woman in her late 40s or early 50s with dark brown shoulder-length hair. The suspect was dressed in a black and white top and was pushing a shopping cart. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.